Hi, Dr. Michelle Warren here, and now I want to show you, for those who are interested, how to create an assignment in Blackboard that is connected to the gradebook and also has its own rubric. And so when you grade within the rubric, those points will show up in the gradebook. All right, ready? Let's get started. So in the previous lesson, we created a Module 2, and it had a description of the module with the learning objectives. It had a formative assessment, a summative assessment, and the rubric. And the way that we built these was using build content item. And that's how we created each of these items. And you can see they are separate, and I can actually move them around within the class. I could move the rubric above the summative assessment if I wanted to, and so forth. So these are separate items within a page. And again, this is the easy way to do it, and this is fine. This works fine. But if you want to kind of test your skills and try something new, then you can go ahead and do what I'm going to suggest now, and we are going to create new summative assessment and rubric using the gradebook. So the way to do that is, I think first what I'm going to do is create a new content area. We'll call this summative assessment. I'm going to call it graded summative assessment. Okay, and there we are, right there. Okay, and here it is down the bottom. I'm going to move it under Module 2 and click on it. All right, time to add some content. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is set a build content item. We're going to go to assessments and build content assignment. Okay, so again, just as you're learning in the class, an activity that's graded is an assessment. Okay, and so if we go back, if you think about it, it makes sense. An assignment is an assessment. So here we go again. Okay, we're going to grab Mr. Hopper's wonderful material. Thank you very much, Mr. Hopper, and we're going to go get that period 2, which we decided would be the summative assessment. Okay, and we'll go ahead and grab that description of that summative activity, and I'm going to paste it right in here. And again, we'll call it summative. And I'm assuming that you probably will give it a better name in your own class, but here it is. It's all right there, okay? All right, we're in the assignment. This is the assignment information. If we want to attach files, we can. How many points do we want to make it? Let's go ahead and make it 20 points, okay? Okay, now comes the fun part. We're going to add a rubric. So the way we got here was we created a new assignment, and right within the body of that assignment is the ability to add a rubric. We're going to create a new rubric. Okay, and we'll call it rubric. All right, and if we wanted to have a description of the rubric, we could. You know, we could say something like rubric to grade the PowerPoint on the American Revolution. And I'll fix this right here. Okay. All right, here we are, and here's our criteria, and here's our levels of achievement or proficiency. And we'll start right at the beginning. We'll go get that rubric that I copied into a Microsoft Word document. We'll start at the beginning. So first criteria was identifies causes for the revolution. Okay, so we will go ahead and add that criteria, edit, and we will just put that in there like that and save it. And identify causes of, there it is, identify causes of the revolution. Now it automatically puts points, weight value in there for you. You can change it. If I were to change this to 50%, then, then I have to go in and change these other ones, so I'll go 25 and 25, okay? There we go. All right. Now, now I'm ready to put in the levels of criteria. I'll go ahead and start with identifies all the main causes, and then I'll just grab up the next one, and I'll grab the next one. Okay, so this only has 3 levels of achievement or performance, and I want to add one more because Mr. Hopper has one more column. So I simply go up here to the top and say add a column. There it is. I can give it a name. I want to call it non-performance. I think I'll call it, whoops, sorry about that. I deleted that column. I'm going to call it non-performance. Okay. And I'll go grab that last criteria. Okay. And there we go, and I paste it in there. Okay. All right. What's going on here? Save that. Okay, now I have to go in and put in the points. So the percentage of this one would be 100%. Percentage of competent, we'll just say is 90%. Proficient would be, we'll just say 75%. And non-performance is a 0%, okay? So it's 100% of the 50% of the total weight, 90% of the 50% of the total weight of this particular criteria. Does that make sense? So that's how that works. Now, I can go in and continue with this work, clicking each one, putting in the new criteria, and copy and paste them right in there into each of the levels of performance and so forth. And once I'm finished, I'll just go ahead and say, I'll go ahead now. Again, this is the entire assignment. I've created my rubric. I'll say submit to the rubric. And that brings me back to my assignment. Okay, so the rubric is in place now. The rubric is done. 20 points possible. And I'm going to allow, I'm just going to say unlimited attempts, which means the student can upload their work unlimited amount of times or and so forth, okay? So basically upload their work as many times as they want. You can allow single attempt, number of attempts, so forth. And you're going to grade the last submitted attempt, okay? All right, and each student will be graded individually, and I will now say submit this, and there is my assignment. And when I click on it, okay, it gives me the number of points possible, and I can go ahead and browse my computer and attach and upload the file, and I can add comments to the instructor. Okay, there's one more thing I want to do, because right now the students are not seeing the rubric, and there is a little trick where you can say let the students see the rubric. So I'm going to go back to that option. I'm going to go to my summative assessment. I'm going to edit it. And down below, there's a little thing that says show rubric to students. And I'm going to say yes without rubric scores. No, yes with. We'll be completely transparent to our students so they can see what the scores are and what the rubric is. Okay? So now when I say submit, let's take a look at what that looks like. And I click on summative assessment, brings me back in as if I'm a student, and I can say view, look at that, view the rubric, and there it is, pretty sweet. And it actually shows the point value. So there you have it, isn't that great? So here, I'll just shrink it down so you can see it a little better. There we are. And so there you go, that's the rubric feature inside of CourseSites/Blackboard. Now, as an instructor, if you try to upload something, it will not show up. You're an instructor, it will not show up in the grade book. But what will show up in the grade book is this assignment. So if I go to the Grade Center, over under Control Panel, Grade Center, and I go to Full Grade Center, Let's take a look at that. And here's my grade center. There's no students in the grade book yet, but it does have, take a look at this, it does have my, as I scroll around here on this side of this grade center, make it a little bigger. It has my pre-assessment survey. There's that, because that is a graded activity. It has a discussion, the discussion forum that we created. That's a graded activity. And there's my summative assignment or assessment right there. Again, I can't really click on anything because there's no students in the class. And in order for you to see this, you have to create a new account with a different name and sign in, and a new account that is a student, and then enroll your student account here. And you have to sign in as student and upload some stuff, and then sign out and sign back in as an instructor to see how that worked. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to go into it. But essentially, this is the power of a learning management system. And in this situation, it's Blackboard. So there you have it. Enjoy playing with this tool. Thank you.